It's taken the sun a lot longer to come out these mornings. That means that summer is nearly on its way out, and fall's crispy, cool hands are about to knock on the door seasons. It also means year end is fast approaching, along with the opportunity to lock in on routines, achieving goals, and shaping mindsets for 2026. This vlog is a glimpse of how I am trying to reconnect to goals and habits that I had started the year off with, but along the way fell off undoing. That includes waking up at 4 a.m. on some days and just making sure that I'm starting my morning off by reading a passage from a non-denominational daily devotional, more like a spiritual devotional, just to help set the tone and mindset for the day. And I also am really trying to prioritize moments in the morning for quiet reflection before going on my phone, on my computer, or anything like that, just to make sure that I'm in the right headspace to get my day started. On this particular day, I wanted to start off with an outside run in the morning. That's why I was up at 5:30 rather than 4. If I was going to the gym, I would have been up at 4 a.m. So I made myself a pre-workout drink, and while that was kicking in, I had to make my bed. I'm the kind of person that needs to have my bed made before as soon as I get up or before I leave the house, I cannot have an unmade bed. But yeah, the days are getting shorter, the nights are longer. I'm low-key excited for that, actually. I do quite like the darker mornings. There's just something kind of calming and slower about that. It just forces you to slow down. And I think that's what I'm the most excited for about the fall season. It's an opportunity to slow down, take your time, to reflect on how far you've come in the year, how close or far away you are from your goals, and to pivot and see what you can do to get you closer to achieving them. So one of the things that I really want to continue to lock into this year is my diet. I feel like I've been doing so very well the last couple of months, I want to say, in terms of making sure that I'm focusing on whole foods and eating tons of vegetables and fruits more than I normally do, because fun fact about me, I don't really like fruits and veggies that much. I could exist solely off of like carbs, like rice, bread, and all of that stuff. But I feel like I've been doing so much better lately in terms of just making sure that I'm having vegetables with every meal, and also with considering the fact that I'm lactose intolerant. I've been really making strides, I feel like, in terms of really limiting my dairy and finding healthier alternatives, and also just like limiting the amount of sugar that I have, like processed sugar that I have. I feel like I'm doing like so well in terms of that. It's been more than a month now since I've decided that I'm just going to challenge myself to not have processed sugar in my diet. Today was the first time actually that I had something processed. So my friend's son turned 1 yesterday, and they had like a birthday cake. I went to visit them today, and she offered me some cake, and to my pleasant surprise, I couldn't really get through it. It was just too rich and too sweet for me. So I think I'm slowly retraining my taste buds to enjoy sweetness, but of a different kind. So enjoy sweetness in a different way. When I set out to manage my sweet tooth and just embark on this challenge, I didn't want to ignore my cravings. I wanted to understand what my cravings were really asking of me and find a way to honor my sweet tooth without putting stuff in my body that made me feel worse rather than better or satisfied. So I feel like that's, doing really well. But one of the habits that I definitely do every week, I try to do every week so that I can stay on top of my nutrition and my diet, quote unquote, is meal prepping. For one, I just don't like spending money on food, so meal prepping definitely saves me from doing that. And it just means there's less resistance throughout the week when I'm tired at the end of the workday for me to eat something good for me if I've already taken the time at the top of the week to prepare food. So I just have a quick grocery haul that I did here after work. I didn't buy any, it's not like a ton of stuff. I just have a carton of a dozen eggs. They're just like free range brown eggs. They're not the ones I normally get. I didn't go to the grocery store that I normally go to, but I just needed something quick. I got 2 packs of medium ground beef. I don't really care if it's lean or extra lean. It doesn't matter to me. I got 4 plantains because my mom set me up with a ton of jollof rice. And if there's one thing about me, it's that I can, but I enjoy eating rice a lot more if there is a side of fried plantains. So I got 4 fried plantains to go. And I also picked up this no sugar added chocolate wafer. I remember that I used to like this so many years ago, and I figured this would be like a nice treat to have in the house for when the sweet tooth is like really hidden and tends to hit like at night. So it's just something that I can have that I can enjoy without overindulging in. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my meal prep for the week. I'm just preparing my lunches because, like I said, Mom gave me some rice, so I have all my dinners and stuff. I don't need to do that. It's just burger bowls. So I'm just going to cook the ground beef and prepare the lettuce, tomatoes, and onions and make the sauce. And it's pretty much ready to go. So that's what I'm going to do right now. But I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about how I'm sort of how I've been approaching my diet and my nutrition, and how I plan to continue approaching my diet and my nutrition, because I feel like for the first time in a while, I actually feel happy about the way I'm eating, and I don't feel like I'm restricting myself. I just want to focus on fueling myself in a way that feels good for my body and feels good for me, and will benefit me in the long run. So yeah, okay. I just got back from my friend's place. I'm very, very full and sluggish because she fed me some bomb ass Nigerian shawarma. So I'm very full, but I do need to power through cooking for tonight, and then I'll call it an evening. So yeah. Okay, so I think I have something of an idea of what my lunch is going to be. So I have my burger sauce in this container. I'm actually not just going to bring this entire container to work. I'm going to put it in like a smaller container, but I've packed enough lunch for 2 days, so I'll leave some of this at the office in our fridge. But I have my romaine lettuce just sliced up and washed in this container, and then I have all my fixins. It's nothing crazy, it's just some tomatoes, dill pickles, and red onions. So these will go on top of the burger bowl. And then for a snack, I think I'm gonna bring a couple of these energy bites. They're like a vanilla coconut bliss ball. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring some carrots. I have some carrots here and some of them in water here, but I'm still trying to decide if I want to do that. It's just going to depend on how much stuff I end up having. I hard-boiled some eggs. I'm going to have 2 of these as snacks tomorrow. And of course, I have my ground beef all cooked up. So I'm just going to like separate the oil from the meat and put some in a container and just stick them in the fridge. And that's my meal prep for the week. Good morning. It is another day, and another day of us trying to get on our grind. Right now it is about 4:15 a.m. I have a few minutes and then I need to head to the gym. One of the things that I'm really trying to work on is getting back into my 4 a.m. workout time routine. I feel like I've been struggling so hard with it for most of this year, actually. You know, sometimes I'm like very much on top of it, very much excited to get to the gym at 4 a.m. or not 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. Very much excited to wake up at 4 to then go to the gym. But most times it's just felt like I've been resisting it. And I think it might be time for me to maybe start to reconsider a 4 a.m. workout and maybe start to think about going to the gym after work. But I really want to give it an honest shot for at least the rest of the year and reevaluate maybe next year. But one of the things that I'm then trying to focus on and lock in on is falling in love again with waking up early. And I think the reason I've been struggling so much with waking up early is because I've been struggling to go to sleep at a decent time. So I need to fix that. I used to be able to like go to sleep at 8:39, but now I can't for the life of me. So I need to figure that out. Honestly, today I truly did consider just like skipping my morning workout, taking today off and trying again another day. But then I was just like, Deb, you have to start to learn to keep the promises you make to yourself, you know? So I just decided to get dressed. I had actually woken up way before 4, maybe like a bit after 3:30, which is how my body, this is how I know like my body is still used to waking up at 4. It's just like the motivation and brain part of it, right? And actually getting up. Yeah, we're working on it. But I'm gonna do my little pre-workout drink here. I've been taking OxyShred, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. It honestly gives me a bit of a headache. It doesn't give me that annoying itch you get from beta-alanine, which I'm very grateful for, but it gives me a tightness in my head that I am honestly not a big fan of. And I got it from Amazon. I was trying to return it, but they wanted me to talk to customer support before I could do a return. I don't know. I might just stick with it. Maybe it's just one of those things you need to use a few times for your body to get used to it. But I will say I have noticed that it gives me really truly sustained energy throughout the day. So yesterday I had it first thing in the morning before I went on my run, and I didn't drink coffee. I didn't need to feel like I needed to drink coffee for the rest of the day. Not that being said, I probably in almost all of my videos I show me drinking coffee, making coffee, all of that, but I'm not addicted to coffee. I can very much function without coffee or without caffeine. I truly just like the drinking experience of coffee. So that's why it's something that I enjoy having, but it's not something that I need. So I don't know if it's saying much that I went the whole day yesterday without feeling like I needed to drink coffee. So, yeah, but I don't know. I'll keep playing with it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'll try something else. morning, y'all. I'm sorry if you can hear the fan going. I'm getting ready in my bathroom and it is hot, like I'm sweating, so I do need the fan. But I'm just getting ready for work right now, and I just wanted to really quickly kind of chat about how I'm feeling about something. So I'm really struggling. Just want to be 100% transparent. I'm struggling hard. I'm really struggling with like my morning routine and waking up early in the morning to get to the gym for 4:30 a.m. So for instance, this morning I had planned to go to the gym, but I just could not bring myself to get up. And I'm trying to like be gentle with myself because I know that after work I will go to the gym. But it's just kind of frustrating because I do have, these goals that I want to, lock into by the end of the year, before the end of the year, to approach the end of the year. And waking up early is one of them because I do feel like I'm my most productive when I wake up early, get to the gym, get my workout in, and then kind of get ready for the day. But I've just been really struggling so hard lately with my sleep quality and getting enough sleep and just feeling rested in the morning, so that no matter what, I just always feel like I could sleep some more. And I think I'm also trying to come to terms with the fact that I might need to adjust the way my routines are, and that I might be at a point in my life where waking up early in the morning is just not working, and I need to pivot and shift to doing my workouts at the end of the day. The reason I like to wake up early in the morning is not because like I am a morning person, but not that early. But the reason I wake up that early is because I like to get my workout in first thing, like to start my day with a workout. But I think I'm realizing that it just might not happen. It's just not happening right now, and I need to work with myself rather than against myself to ensure that I'm achieving my goals, I'm getting to my goals. So I'm really just playing with the idea of maybe switching to evening workouts while I work on my sleep hygiene, while I work on my sleep issues, and just trying to get to a place where I can sleep through the night and sleep well. I don't remember the last time I slept well through the night. Those nights are few and far between, especially during the week. And this has been like an on and off thing for a few years. I had really bad insomnia, and I was kind of reliant on like sleeping medication, sleeping aids to help me sleep. But I hated them because I would always feel groggy the next morning and just move a lot slower. I just did not like the way that felt. So I weaned myself off of that, and I haven't gone back on any sleeping medication. Sometimes I take melatonin, but I find that doesn't work for me. So like I've always struggled with like sleep quality and insomnia and poor sleep, but for a while it felt like everything was well in hand and I had a routine that was working for me. But this year, especially now, it just feels like I'm regressing, and I need to figure that out, and I just don't even know where to start. I just wanted to share that sometimes in our pursuit of a certain objective, we have to reimagine or reconsider the steps we take to get to that objective. For me, the important thing is getting a workout in, not waking up early in the morning. Like that's my objective. I want to be able to work out on the days that I say that I will work out. And yes, in the past, waking up at a certain time in the morning to get to the gym has facilitated getting to that objective. But now it's come to a point where there's something going on and I can't get to waking up early in the morning. So I need to pivot and shift and find another way to get to my objective of working out. So yeah, sometimes we just need to be flexible and adaptable and not lean too strongly into one way of doing something. And that's a lesson that I'm really trying to learn the older that I get, because I can be a bit too narrow-minded and a bit too singularly focused. That's not always a good thing. So yeah. So I was talking earlier today about how I feel like my sleep has just been in a state of disruption for a very long time throughout the course of this year. So I'm just trying to be more intentional about creating downtime in my evenings so that I can really wind down and get into like a state of like bodily relaxation, so that when I get into bed, my mind's not running and I don't have a million and one things on my mind to do, and I actually can just fall asleep. So I think one of the things that I'm going to try and get back into is crocheting. I haven't crocheted in a long time. Well, I think I haven't crocheted. The last time I crocheted was probably in like July or something. I don't have any projects going, but last year, I don't know if y'all remember, I started making like granny squares because I had intended to like make a blanket, but I obviously started doing other crochet projects, so this fell by the wayside. So I'm gonna pick that back up. I don't remember how to do it, so I'm gonna find the video that I was following and go from there. But yeah, so I'm just going to do that right now for a little bit, listen to a podcast, and I'll have dinner and read, journal, and just, call it a night. But we'll see if I'm able to fall asleep at a decent time or when I say I will, and actually have a good night's rest. Fingers crossed. I cannot overstate the importance of nighttime routines, and I think for me, what I'm starting to realize is that I need moments and pockets in my evening where I'm just doing nothing and really just indulging and leaning into relaxing things, such as working on a crochet project. And it also helps to have a cozy environment in which to pop into bed so that I can read and do mindless things that won't get my heart racing. I've also really been leaning into meditation just for a couple minutes as a way to sort of bring me back to earth and ground me and relax me before I head to bed. Hello. I am all dressed up because I'm actually heading out in a little bit, but I realized that I actually haven't ended the vlog off. So I'm just here to do that real quick. It's pretty much the end of the video. So the whole point of this was just to have a week of trying to reset my habits and get back into the swing of my habits, especially as we are rounding up the year. I essentially want to end the year strong, and it seems like there's just no better time to lock in than now. So that's really what this has been focused on. And like I said earlier in the video, I think I'm also coming to realize that with some of my habits, I might need to be flexible and think of other ways to get to certain objectives, and just be a bit more flexible and adaptable rather than being headstrong and wanting to do the same and wanting to achieve a goal the same way that worked for me last year, but is clearly no longer working for me. So it's still something that I'm playing with. I still definitely am an early morning person. If I can do a lot of my things early in the morning, I want to be able to do them rather than waiting. Also, another thing that I wanted to talk about before as I wrap up this vlog is that I think in my last vlog, I talked about how I am essentially feeling a bit kind of like uninspired with my runs. I talked about how throughout this whole running journey, I've always had an objective, starting my 0 to 5K plan, hitting 5K, beating my 5K times, and then working up to running a 10K and running long distances. And I've been running 10Ks now for a while. So I'm no stranger to a 10K, but once I started hitting 10Ks, just running felt a bit more like, okay, I didn't have anything I was working toward. And so I felt uninspired by my runs, and I felt bored with my routes. And so I had to switch it up, and it was fun for a bit, but now I'm kind of bored with it. And it also doesn't help that with the seasons changing, we are having longer nights and shorter days. It means I can't get out first thing in the morning to run just to get out of the way, and running in the evening is still not my thing because it's still kind of warm outside. I don't like running when it's hot. I prefer to run first thing in the morning when it's cool. So I've just had to work through all of that, or those are sort of the challenges that I'm dealing with. And so in that vlog, I was talking about how I feel like I just need to challenge myself to do something, have a certain objective to work toward. And for me, that was like, maybe I can start running longer distances. Maybe I can challenge myself to see how far I can go. So I did that, actually. So yesterday, I ran my first ever, like the longest distance I've ever run. And it's nothing like crazy, but to me it is, because I've never run it before. I ran a 12K yesterday, and it sucked in every sense of the word. It sucked. At the 8K mark, I was like, oh my God, I don't have 2 kilometers to go. I have 4 kilometers to go before it's done. And it felt particularly, those last few kilometers felt particularly difficult. However, there were points where I was like, maybe I just want to do 11K. But one of the things that I'm really trying to hone in on is to keep the promises that I make to myself. And I kept saying, no, you're not going to do 11K. You said you were going to do 12K, and you're going to do 12K. I should say I wasn't feeling like, oh, maybe I should stop or do 11K because something was hurting in my body. No, I felt fine. I was just tired, because I had never run that long before. And so there were moments where I really wanted to take a shortcut and just go for 11K, because technically it would still be longer than a 10K, but it would not be true to what I said I was going to do. So I just powered through and repeated the mantra that I've been repeating to myself when things get hard on this running journey, which is that I can do hard things and my body can do hard things. And also another thing that really helped me was not even trying to beat any time. I really just wanted my legs to keep going. Front. I just wanted to keep moving forward, one after the other. Towards the end, I wasn't concerned about my time. I just really just wanted to do what I said I was going to do. And I did it. Ran a 12K. I was wiped out after. I had the runner's stomach after. So that was not, I don't miss that. But it felt fun. It felt good. And it was like, maybe this is something like, if it's like, it was evidence to myself that if I can do this, I can go further. I can probably train for a half marathon, which we'll keep considering for next year. But yeah, so that was probably one of the highlights of this week. And my sleep is still something that I'm struggling with. I don't know. I think I just kind of need to just keep trying everything I can, keep tweaking and figuring out my routines so that I can get to a point where sleep doesn't evade me at the end of the day, even when I'm tired. Okay. But I've talked for quite a bit, so I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much for watching this vlog and for supporting me and being here. I love and appreciate you more than you know, and I cannot wait to see you next time in another vlog. But until then, take care.